Got the window open, man. Weather is nice right now. Fuck going on, man? It's your boy Flavor Pack. In today's video, I'm bringing you a hybrid build that can turn you into a legend. Now, I'll say this off the rip. If you do not have a team that is willing to put on a team synergy build, this build will never work. I'll promise you it will never work because the chess piece talent that you absolutely need is Intimidate. Now, I know you saw there for a second when I was in cover, I had all that blue armor, Intimidate popped up, and you're probably thinking, okay, well, your teammate is running smart cover, so that's where you're getting the Intimidate buff from. Nah. Shout out to my boy Frost13. I will put a link to his YouTube channel down below in the comments so you can go check him out. But Frost is the MVP in this situation simply because if you peep what he's doing, he's going cover to cover, and you see that flag down there. It's called leadership. Now that talent is giving me all this blue armor. All the blue armor that I get goes straight to Intimidate. And I do not have to run Adrenaline Rush to get blue armor. I can still run my chem launcher, I can still run my hive, I can still heal my teammates because I have high repair skills. So all around, like I said, it's more so a team synergy build. Now, as you can see, I am PvEing, so you're probably like, what? Like Flavor Pack has been uploading a PvE build? Yeah, I PvE. Is it my favorite thing to do? I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it is, but I do enjoy the PvE in this game simply because of the fact that when you PvE, you can pretty much make any build, especially for me, hybrid build, and it actually will work. And you go into PvP, they're nerfing your stats, so it's like it's kind of hard to have that same flexibility. But I really wish that they would just lift that cap. If they lift that cap, oh man, y'all, it would get ugly. Just to say that. But like I said before, this is more so just a team synergy build. If you've been paying attention to my content, if you've really tapped in, and again, a lot of you on the last video, I appreciate all the support, all the views, but the majority of you who watched it were not subbed. So if you enjoy the builds, if you enjoy the content, please make sure you leave a like, please make sure you subscribe. And like I said, this build and the builds that I'm trying to make and I will be continuing to put out are heavily based on team synergy. So I feel like a lot of players in this game really take away from what this game really is. It's a team-based game. It's a team-based RPG shooter. I'd say that in terms of PvP, if it's a 4v4 situation or you're in a 4-man fighting more than 4 people, yes, you can have a meta setup. Everybody just runs striker, one future initiative healer. Everybody throws on a chatterbox, or there's just different variants of striker, whatever. Right? That can work, but 9 times out of 10, you run across a team like us. We have a different setup. Yes, we may have a future initiative healer, but the other 3 builds are not just going to be striker. It's not just going to be the meta. They're going to be a team synergized build. So everybody essentially is feeding off of each other. A lot of people aren't willing to do that. A lot of teams, obviously, that we fight against aren't willing to sacrifice for their teammates to make their team stronger. Sounds like a personal problem, but hey, that's just them, I guess. I can't even say that's just me. That's just them. And it's crazy to me because most people are quick to blame the people that they are fighting for what they're using, and oh, that's cheesy, or take that off, or if you have to use that, you have no skill. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense, and your logic is flawed. And I can easily explain why. It's simply because everything that's in the game has a counter to it. You can counter whatever you're fighting in the game. So I don't see the whole problem where, you know, if we're running a team synergized build where somebody's given leadership and, you know, giving you blue armor, and, you know, I'm running a hybrid build with intimidate on it, and you're complaining that I have all this extra blue armor, so I'm getting all this extra damage on top of healing myself and all that stuff. If you're sitting there complaining about that, again, you yourself, you need to look in the mirror and realize that it's not us, you know, using the build against you. It's you not willing to change your playstyle and adjust to the fight. Because again, most people would just sit there and complain. So there's a counter to everything. I'm not going to get into that right now. If I need to upload an additional video in the future explaining the counter, then I guess I'll have to do that. But as it stands right now, you know, I pretty much feel like I explain everything pretty well when it comes to hybrid builds, you know, what makes it work, what, you know, what weaknesses or strengths, all of that stuff all ties in together. So now we're going to start kind of, you know, jumping into the actual build video. And sorry, I had some technical difficulties, so bear with me. Now, I know you're probably like, damn, this motherfucker been talking for a minute, bro. I know I'll be seeing y'all in the comments. Y'all be like, oh man, you uploaded a video, man. Where's the build? Like, when it's a build guide, I will put in the title it's a build guide. When it's just a video showcasing a build, I'm not going to say it's a build guide. I will say what build, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right. The actual particulars of the build, I'm going to start getting into it. Um, if you watch the last video that I just put out, um, it's pretty much same version of that build that I uploaded. Again, I just tweaked a talent and tweaked like two pieces, not even two pieces, probably just one piece. So again, you could be like, oh, well, you're just at this point, you're just uploading the same build. I'm literally not uploading the same build. Each build is different in its own way, and they serve a different purpose based off of, like I said in my last video, depending on the situation that you're in. If you're in a certain situation where it calls for you to do more damage while doing, or, you know, do more damage while doing or giving out less heals, I mean, you got to do that. You got to make that call. But if you only have one hybrid variant and you can't really switch up your pieces, and, you know, every time you lose to a hybrid build, you just steal what you see and then try to throw it into your rotation, and then when you go against that person again, or you go against somebody else, and then you're wondering why the build doesn't work because you don't know the true purpose of the build, you know, it doesn't play out the same way. So the chess piece will be Murakami, right? And again, Intimidate is on chess piece. Now I will be putting the actual build on the screen, but I'm just going to just talk about it off the top of my head because I don't even need to see the build. I can sit here and do this all day in terms of like explaining what my builds are. All right, so on the chess piece you got Murakami. With Intimidate, I go pretty sure, if again you watch my videos, repair skills, crit chance on every single roll that I can possibly get. Not really looking for crit damage because normally I would be looking to get crit chance for obliterate, but in this case I'm using intimidate. So with the max intimidate, I'm just going to have max crits, you know what I'm saying, on top of all that damage that I get. So I mean, I feel like those two different builds again go hand in hand with the rolls. But again, repair skills, crit chance on every single roll. The only roll that is not going to be on is the holster, and is not going to be on the book bag because the book bag is Ninja Bite. If you know my hybrid builds, I'm always using Ninja Bite because it helps bring together hybrid builds so well, for me at least. And on the holster, it's Picaro's holster, and instead of it being repair skills and crit chance, it's repair skills and weapon damage. I think it's like 10%, something like that. And then on the gloves, I'm gonna stay silent for like 5 seconds, and I want you to guess what my gloves are. If you said what I think or what I hope you said, It was 511.
Bro, what the fuck?
And as you
It's
can
like
see right here, I
almost
got
stuck.
stuck right here. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But 511. And again, repair skills and crit chance on the gloves. If you don't have two-piece 511, if you don't have that second talent activated where you're getting that extra income and repairs, I do not know what you're doing with your hybrid build. Sorry. Right? And then for the mask and the knee pads, you have Bellstone. Because the two-piece activates the three-piece because of Ninja Bite, and you're going to get an additional 45% income and repairs. And on the mods, right, every single mod I have income and repairs. Again, that is overkill, um, but in the sense of, you're doing higher difficulty PvE content. In certain situations, you will want your heals to come back faster. They're already going to be OP, so really in reality, you do not need to have income and repair mods on, but it just, kind of ensures that your heals are just that strong for yourself, right? Now, if you want to change the mods, you can most definitely do that. If you want to put like crit damage on, you can definitely do that. If you're still lacking on crit chance because your rolls aren't all the way there, you can do that. But I wouldn't really stray outside of those parameters. You can if you want to, but I'm telling you, hey, those are the mods to use. So you can do with that information, do what you want to do. But if you're watching up to this point, again, like I said, I am going to be putting the build on the screen. I pulled the build up at the end of this mission here. I've pretty much already explained the build, but again, I know that you're waiting to see it. So I'm pretty sure if you're watching this all the way through, you could see that there's timestamps. You could easily just kind of like fast forward it. But if you just, sat with your boy, chill, listen to what I had to say and stuff like that, hey, I'd most definitely appreciate it. But, I just try to keep people informed, man, and try to really, what I'm saying, give you a different perspective on shit because most other content creators aren't. Like I said, the three people that you see on the screen, we're all content creators. You can all tap into all of our channels, and we're going to tell you what's essentially the best. Other content creators are going to give you this watered down fucking generic brand shit. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it is what it is. So, as you can see, we completed the mission here, and I pulled out the build. Long behold, everything that I've been talking about. The only thing that I did not mention was the TA-21, which has reformation, and I was using the card pistol for the extra skill tier. I wasn't really too, heavily invested in having the quick step pistol, but I'm telling you, you look at that attribute colors or whatever, yellow and red for pretty much every single piece, right? Repair skills, crit chance on every single roll except for the holster and except for the exotic book bag being the ninja bite. I got incoming repair mods on every single piece. So again, there's that. 511, the two-piece incoming repairs, the three-piece from the Bellstone is giving you extra 45%. The two-piece from the Murakami is giving you an additional 35% repair skills. So pretty much self-explanatory. And again, make sure you go tap into Frost's build so therefore your teammate can know how to turn your build into a legend. And I'll see you in the next video.